What's up, everyone? How's it going? In this game, we have VerteX as our blue Order of the Dragon, spawning in the west side of Himiyama. Over here on the eastern side, we have Give You Anxiety GUA as our purple Russ. I don't believe I've casted this game. Actually, wait up. Bam. Let's go ahead and double check that really quick, because I actually don't think I have very many games for Order of the Dragon, and I don't think I have a single one for Order of the Dragon versus Russ. No, I do not. I only have 6 games casted for Utid. And we will see what they go for. I believe a majority of my games have been mixed when casting Order of the Dragon in terms of what the openers have been. I've seen Minework Palace, we've seen the Aachen Chapel, 2 TC, 1 TC. In this game, it doesn't seem like we're going to be seeing any kind of early aggression, which has been kind of the norm in terms of ladder. But I guess that's more of a lower, like Conqueror 1 style play, because I really haven't seen it very much aside from Shelby. I think Shelby TV is the only Order of the Dragon player that I've casted that has done a Dark Age Gilded Spear Rush, and it's pretty damn strong too against certain civilizations, Russ not being one of them. Of course, since they don't go for gold, they are able to generate the gold off of their hunting cabin, and that's more than enough to progress them throughout the Dark Age. Not only that, but they also do get gold from getting the huntable animals throughout the map, such as the boar, deer, wolves, and that is it. I think, yeah, that's the only things that are there. They don't get any gold off of sheeps, which is fine. They don't deserve any gold off of the poor little sheepies. We're already eating them as is. Speaking of which, there's a sheep right here just outside of the base. There's 2. I don't know how he's missed those, but he should be getting those pretty soon as well. GUA is going for, or did go for, a 3 scout opener. We will see anywhere between 2 to 4, but we are getting a golden gate. That is very, very surprising, seeing the golden gate instead of the Kremlin. Very, very interesting. And now we do have a ton of villagers switching over to wood, so we might be going into a 3 TC play. I know I've called this, I know I could be totally wrong on this, but with the golden gate they do get favorable trades, so he might, I wouldn't put it past it, because this is such a weird opener already. We haven't really seen a golden gate opener since what, a year and a half from yeah, I think it's probably been about a year and a half now. But wait, where are all these villagers going? Okay, he's gonna be dropping down a lumber mill. We have the Aachen Chapel coming down for our, I was gonna say Abbasid, and then I was gonna correct myself and say Byzantine. That was totally wrong on both fronts. For our Order of the Dragon player, I think he could have placed this a little bit better though. Yeah, he could have placed this a little closer to the berries. What's the purpose of putting it where he did though? Because the TC is still covered, the gold would still be covered. This is overall a worse position in terms of future farms, and also walking distance from the Aachen to the berries, vice versa. Not entirely sure, but the golden gate is up. Starts with 1 ticket. You need requires, oh, give me 1 second, I forgot to turn off my phone. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. I thought I turned it off earlier, but apparently I forgot to. And a little bit of a wannabe harass from the scout onto the golden or golden, gilded dragon villagers. Oh, excuse me, they're just dragon villagers. They're not gilded. They should be. Also, keep in mind for those out there that are just tuning in or just picking up the game, the Order of the Dragon Villagers do take a little bit longer to produce, and they also cost a little bit more. They are 60 food instead of 50. They take 24 seconds instead of 20 seconds, but they are a lot beefier. They have 65 health compared to 50. Not only that, but they also, what is going on here? Like, why did he actually think he was going to be able to get one of those even with 3 scouts? They also gather 25% faster, so they gather everything 25% faster. We do have a stable and our first gilded horseman out for VerteX. GUA is going into his own stable with his own early night. What are we gonna see here though? So we did see, is it gonna be going? I'm not entirely sure what GUA is planning on doing here. Huh. So he ended up buying gold, selling for gold. I'm not entirely sure what he sold though. This is a little weird. Let's see what ends up happening. He has quite a few villagers on wood. Currently sitting on 10 villagers on wood. So is he going to be going into a fast castle maybe? And he's just going into the early nights just for defensive purposes. And now we do have a lot of villagers going on over to the gold. Yeah, I'm not sure. That 7 villagers on gold, 14 on food, 3 on wood. I was really expecting a second TC. I know I said 3 TC play. That was me just being very optimistic for a very, very weird game. Realistically, I was expecting a second TC, and even that's not happening. Even though he did go for the golden gate, I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on hunting cabin getting placed out next to the deer. That's fine. VerteX sitting on 22 villagers, 10 military, 1 gilded spear, 3 gilded horsemen. GUA sitting on 27 villagers, 6 military, 5 early knights, or 5 early knights. Where did I get that from? 3 early knights and 3 scouts. So he will be able to defend this forward position. GUA should be dropping a wooden fortress as well as extra defense here. We'll see if he does go that route though. The huntable boar did get pulled by somebody right there. Nice little charge from those knights onto the scout from VerteX, and now it is getting pushed back just a little bit. I don't think these early knights would be able to take this attack. GUA is attempting to snipe off the warrior, excuse me, not the warrior scouts, just the normal scouts. This gilded spear is pushing the early knights away quite a bit. Another early knight is out on the field. That's 4 early knights for GUA, able to kill off the gilded spear, but now it's just the early knights versus 3 gilded horsemen. VerteX is not going to be able to take that fight until the rest of the gilded spears do get here, which they kind of have. It's 3 gilded spears and 3 gilded horsemen now against the 4 early knights of our Rust player. Nice little attempted charge right there, able to pull back, and now there's 15, about 12 villagers building up that fortress, if not more. Those probably about 16 right there. In all honesty, 4 villagers do get picked off by VerteX, and now GUA is losing all of his early knights right there. That wooden fortress needed to come up a lot earlier. He is trying to go for that castle age, only missing out on about 100 wood. Nice little skewer from those gilded spears onto that early knight though. This is very, very devastating for our Rust player. He still has 12 villagers that are gathering up food, 9 villagers on gold, and now he's pulling the rest of his villagers in order to try to get the high trade house up and running. this is not a very favorable position for our Rust player. 17 military against 1. VerteX is sitting on 28 villagers as well. So VerteX has 28 villagers, 15 military, 4 gilded spear or 4 gilded horsemen, 3 gilded spears. This is not good positioning. GUA is going to be hitting Castle Age very soon, but what is he going to be able to do with that Castle Age if VerteX decides to just turn on him? Because remember, as soon as that age clicks up, that's basically telling your opponent, hey, I spent 1600 resources. I don't have those resources anymore in order to build up an army. Regardless of that announcement, he scouts it out. He sees the high trade house being made. It does finish, but now we're gonna have to see what GUA does with this position. He still has, oh no, he doesn't have any tickets left either. Why did those villagers go inside? There was no reason for those villagers to go in there. We do have the springald emplacement getting added onto the wooden fortress that's at this forward position. Gilded horsemen are going to be moving over to GUA's gold. Quite a bit of damage does get thrown onto one of them, and veterancy is on its way as well. The springald emplacement does finish up on the forward wooden fortress. Back over here on the gold wooden fortress, still no emplacements. Nice little control from GUA on his villagers in order to try to maximize the amount of damage and minimize the amount of downtime. It's a very, I guess you could say, elegant back and forth right here between both players. VerteX is just trying to maximize the amount of idle time, while GUA is trying to minimize the amount of idle time. He does need to put a he does need to put a springald emplacement on that wooden fortress though. Oh no, okay. GUA is able to pull back his knight before it gets skewered by those gilded spears. Nice little damage coming through from the forwardmost outpost as well. But still, VerteX is sitting on 14 military. This is not, let's see, this isn't a really good position to be the Rust at the moment. The the Golden Gate has done a little bit of how can I say it? It's done very little, I guess, in comparison if you went for the Kremlin, because if he did go for the Kremlin, he would have had the militia in order to help defend earlier on, where he wouldn't have lost as many villagers. Yeah, it was only 4, but remember, that's 4 villagers early game against the Order of the Dragon. You're gonna be ahead in villagers regardless. If you're even with them, that means you're behind. If you're in equal villager count to the Order of Dragon, you are behind in villager count because their villagers are 25% better than yours. So when he lost those 4 villagers, he was behind. Not even in just straight count, or not even in just a one-to-one comparison, but also in count. He was behind 2 villagers. So that put the Order of the Dragon way further ahead than where it would normally be. Nice little charge onto the scout, is able to get it. Gilded horseman is going to be able to, this stupid camera skipped again. Nice little chase right here. He might be losing another knight, which is fine as long as they're not over here killing villagers. That's the main thing for GUA. He needs to get his eco up and running. He needs to start getting his production. Currently only sitting on 2 stables, I think. He hasn't really built anything else. He is getting a lot of food. His food income is fine. His gold is fine. Getting 109 gold per minute from his high trade house. Let's check his hunting cabin. Is getting another 22. Does he not have any other? He doesn't have any other active hunting cabins. Ooh, that's not good for him at all. Meanwhile, I did forget to call this out earlier. I do apologize for that. We did get the Regnitz Cathedral coming up for VerteX. Currently has one relic on the way, very, very close from being turned in. Wololo does go off to save a couple of those villagers. Another relic. Let's see. None of these. Oh, okay. There is a prelate coming up here on the northern side. That warrior monk just needs to grab the relic and run, though. He does need to be poking the prelate, especially since there's so many knights right there to begin with. Prelate over here on the southeastern side. I'm going to be picking up the second one for our Order of the Dragon. First one getting picked up for our Russ, but it looks like it's going to be getting cut off by the Gilded Horsemen and Knights as well. Early night, or excuse me, a knight in general does get picked off over here on the northern side of the map next to that relic. Prelate is going to be able to pick up the relic right here, dropped by the warrior knight, or the warrior monk. What do we have? A warrior monk getting pushed back by a single gilded spear. A couple more gilded spears over here on the northeastern side protecting that relic. Gonna completely stop any type of, oh, nice little fight right here, from any type of warrior monk being able to grab it. Since one is able to kill a warrior monk, two will definitely be able to deny it for a very, very long time until the rest of these knights do come over in order to try to grab it. 3 relics are going to go into the bank for VerteX. GUA is able to stay in this game for quite some time, though. He is sitting on 17 military supply, 14 knights in total. VerteX, 41 villagers, 24 military, 8 gilded spears. Those 8 gilded spears are going to do a lot of damage to these knights. And then you also have 2 gilded knights for VerteX, gilded horsemen, and 2 prelates. Over here on the northern side, we are getting fortified palisade walls coming through. It's only a single villager, though. I would like to see 2, maybe 3 villagers throwing up that palisade at the same time, just to be on the safe side, in all honesty, because these gilded knights are not something to scoff at. They will do a lot of damage to that military, or excuse me, to that eco of GUA. He is sitting comfortably on a 7 villager lead. He was able to pick off 3 villagers earlier. Walls coming down for Order of the Dragon on the southeastern side to block, not really to block anything, it's just to deny any kind of run by right there, realistically, any long sweep run bys. But now there are a lot of knights in the eco of our Order of the Dragon player. VerteX is gonna potentially lose quite a few villages right here. 1 does go down, 2 get severely injured. That's gonna be 3, 4, was that 3 more? I think that was a total of 3 villagers do go down for VerteX right there. Meanwhile, back at home for GUA, he is getting fully walled off right here. He has permanent food coming through from the high trade house that he could potentially fall back to as well if necessary. Berries in the back of the base are getting eaten up. Wait, he only has 1 gold mine behind his wall, so he's gonna have to eventually venture off. There's one pretty close to him, though. He will be able to throw up a fortress if necessary in order to take that. Plus he has 2 more over here on the southwestern side of his base. Warrior monk does take the sacred site on the south for Russ, and then for the north, VerteX is taking that one. Still more run bys coming through for GUA. More villagers have went down. He's been able to kill 2 more, gonna potentially grab another 2, maybe 3. Nice charge right there. 2 villagers go down, 3rd one goes down, and he gets out of there. 12 villager kills total for GUA as of right now. VerteX is scrambling just a little bit. He is trying to get that wall up over here. A semi wall is done, but he needs to close that gap fully. Remember, you are able to build walls through resources, so if he builds this wall, connects it to the tree line, he'll be able to get a full wall. But more villagers still, 3 more go down behind all of this, and there's still more villagers over here in the back of the base. Oh no, there's just a few gilded spears right there, able to push those knights back. Villagers are getting garrisoned inside of the TC and inside of the outposts. A little bit of a fight coming out over here on the northeastern side of VerteX's base. Both players do lose quite a few units right there. As we can see, there's about 3 dead knights and a few dead villagers plus a gilded. Oh no, there's more villagers going down right here that got idled. 23 villager kills now for GUA. Give You Anxiety is going to be sitting very comfortably with his lead. He's nearly doubling. Oh yeah, over doubled the villager count. For he has over double the villager count over our Order of the Dragon player. This relic still hasn't been placed. You could potentially snipe that off if you really wanted to. I don't think he's going to commit to it though. Yeah, there's no way he'd commit to that because he might lose way too many knights right there to those gilded spears. Even the villagers down here that thought they were safe at the southeastern side of the base are getting picked off, attempting to get the spring gold emplacement through. Most likely going to try to go for the fortification as well. This is a lot of villagers on gold. 16 villagers on gold for GUA, and these knights are still giving the gilded knights and gilded spears a massive runaround. Gilded spears over here slowly picking away at the knights. Spring gold emplacement did finish. The dragon villagers need to pop out really quick in order to try to get a repair off before it goes down. He might lose a few more villagers, but that's totally fine. He did lose just one, able to get just enough of a repair off in order to save the rest of them though. And now those knights did get pushed off. Still more knights are pushing into the base of VerteX. There are still 10 villagers idled for him. More and more villagers are going to be going down. Total of 28. Wololo goes off. He's not really going to be able to capture anything with that or convert anything with that. It's just a small deterrence. All right, the prelate. No, prelate, what are you doing? Why are you... Put it back in the regnants. Okay, there. The prelate. What are you doing? Is he gonna just try? Okay, he's playing a very scary game right there. He is trying to put it inside of the outpost in order to get the added benefit like you do as an HRE or HRE variant in this case. Nice little relic gets thrown in there. Wait, does he not get? Why isn't it showing us his? Okay, there it goes. Now it is showing us the gold per minute. Not entirely sure why it wasn't showing us that to begin with, but it is what it is. We do get that second TC eventually coming down for our Russ. Still a ton of villagers over here on that gold, 16 in total. VerteX sitting on 27 villagers, 45 military, 17 gilded spears, 3 gilded knights, a gilded man-at-arms, and that's basically it for him. He can burn through this wall fairly quickly, but he has to do a lot of damage. Nearly triple the villager count for GUA at the moment. He has about half the military count though. He's still going in for more. Oh, is going to be able, an emergency repair does need to come down on that very quickly. Is he going to be able to get it off? Yes. He's barely able to keep it alive. Fortification needs to be dropped on the outposts that are going to be housing relics. Otherwise, these run by snipes are a huge potential. 19 knights are out on the field for GUA. He does finally break through, and these are going to be potentially quite a few villager kills right here too with these gilded knights and the gilded spears. They are able to take so much damage. Quick wall does come up in order to try to hold off any other future reinforcements from coming through, but it didn't get finished. That palace wall or fortified palisade wall did not finish up. A couple torches would have been able to burn that down very quickly, but instead VerteX is just pulling away. He's throwing himself inside the corner while there are Knights closing in very, very quickly. Charge does go off on them. They will connect without getting a single, without the spears getting a single brace off. They are going to be able to get a mild skewer through. A little bit of damage does come through, but that's all she wrote. There's not going to be anything left. The remaining spears do get killed off. There is a Gilded Knight that's running away, attempting to buy a little bit more time, but that's all it's going to do is just buy time. It's not really going to accomplish much. Maybe get a charge off. Doesn't even get the charge off. This wall needs to be closed off. He needs to be able to buy himself a little bit more time. I'd love to see a second TC come through as well, but it looks like he's just going to be saving up all his resources in order to get the Palace of Swabium, dropping a defensive keep though. That's a really nice position for the defensive keep. I wouldn't even be surprised. No, he shouldn't go for the Owlsback. There's no way he goes for the Owlsback. He needs the Palace of Swabia in order to get that villager count up, and it's so beneficial for the Order of the Dragon as well. Nice little charge off over here. The villagers are safe and sound though behind everything. Let's see what GUA is going to be able to do. Nice trades come through as well for him. He did have to eat up a lot of his resources in order to keep his defense up, keep that army up. There's a lot of knights over here in the back. 12 knights and a scout are going to come through and try to get a few more villager kills. 30 villager kills in total for GUA. Nice response from VerteX, but he's still going to get a lot of kills behind this. Nice brace. Oh, that was a baited brace right there. These these Gilded Spears do need to back off. They are not going to be able to take that fight without reinforcements. Lance Connect are on the field now as well. Currently only 3. Charge is going to come through on them, but they still do a lot of damage even through those charges. And now the Gilded Knight charges are going to be able to come through, deal with those regular knights, those lesser knights. But still, 32 villagers, 33 villagers to 92. VerteX was so close to getting Imperial. He needed, if that attack was delayed by a minute and a half, we'd have VerteX as as in Imperial Age with his Palace of Swabia, getting those villager numbers up and running and attempting to fully sustain all over again. But as it is right now, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to hit Imperial anytime soon. Meanwhile, for GUA, he's only 200 gold short. Or excuse me, no, he just spent a lot of gold right there. He was sitting at 600 gold and he just dropped down to about 300. So he is remacroing very effectively right now. It seems like he just wants to end it at this very moment. He's gonna try to go all in, but he can, if he wants to, just sit back for about a minute, hit Imperial Age, get his elite upgrades, and then end it from there. It's not like our Order of the Dragon player is going to be able to get Imperial of his own, but of course hindsight is 2020, or well, I won't say hindsight, you know, we do have 2020 vision compared to GUA, who doesn't have the full idea of what's going on behind all of this. But he will be going for a sacred victory. Unintentional, whether he's planning on the sacred victory or not. As I say that, the neutralization is coming through over here on the south end. Nice charge coming through from all of those knights onto the Gilded. They will not be able to connect though, because he was able to slightly outrun it. Gilded Spears, they're gonna get a single kill. That is a lot of knights for GUA. He's playing this like if it was as though he was French or Jeanne d'Arc. Not even Jeanne d'Arc, because he doesn't have a hero unit. So he's playing this as though he was the French. Just make as many knights as he possibly can and just harass all game long. He hasn't really given VerteX much breathing room at all. Ever since the early aggression that VerteX did give GUA, once GUA was able to sustain and mildly stabilize, he has not let up. This has basically been 20 minutes of nonstop aggression coming from GUA in order to claw his way out into a victory, because he was very behind. He was slightly behind. I won't say very, because he was only down like 2 villagers at one point. But like I said, if you're down villagers compared to an Order of the Dragon player, if you're even, you're behind. If you're behind, you're definitely behind. Palace of Swabia is coming up for VerteX. 19 villagers trying to spam that up pretty quickly. Slight rotation possibly coming up here to the northern side in order to the neutralization does come through on the northern sacred site to buy himself a little bit of time right there at least. Palace of Swabia is going to be at the front of the base. No Imperial coming through for Russ quite yet. He has the food, currently sitting on 5,200 food, only 130 gold. The gold count's coming up pretty damn quick too. He has a lot of passive gold. He's sitting on 1 relic, but he also has his hunting cabins, the high trade house, in order to get that nice trades. Oh, what are we gonna see over here though? Is this gonna finally be our full-fledged assault? There's a lot of gilded Lench Connect, gilded spears. Get a little bit of a camera rotation going on over here. See, what is he gonna fully commit? He's not actually gonna be able to fully commit right there. That is a keep and 2 outposts that our Order of the Dragon player was able to fall back to. So there was no way that there was going to be a full commitment there, but there is a run by in the back. 37 villager kills total for Russ right now, 10 for our Order of the Dragon player. Still pushing forward over here at the front of the base, trying to get whatever damage he can, any kind of poke damage. It's going to be very difficult for VerteX to try to clear up the knights that are in the back of his base, because a lot of them are in the front. 3 gilded knights are going to be able to come over here. Don't think they're actually going to be able to clean it up, but they will be able to deter them from doing any kind of full-fledged assault. While I say that, huge attack coming through from the northern side of the Order of the Dragon base. A lot of villagers, I believe there was about 4 or 5 villagers that did go down while this attack is happening. GUA is going for the Spetskaya Tower over here on the southern sacred site in order to try to secure himself a sacred victory. We do have the emergency repair coming through on one of the outposts. He needs to build another 2 outposts at minimum in order to put the cannon emplacements on them. Charge does come through over here on the rest of these gilded knights, and a full surround on the gilded spears. Where's the rest of his army? VerteX has a huge army. Where is it? It's on the other side of the map. It's not doing anything. He does see all the villagers, but it's a little too late. They're going to be able to jump inside of the Spetskaya. And now he has the southern location locked down. It's going to be fully secured. Only able to grab like 2 villagers right there, 3 villagers, because he was sitting on 10. Now it's up to 13. Able to clear up the assault that was happening at his farms. But that's it. There's nothing really left for VerteX. He's going to have to neutralize the top. There's a keep there. Tons of villagers there too in order to try to get the repairs off if necessary. And over here on the offense, he does have a decent force, don't get me wrong. Sitting on 3 Lench Connect, 3 man-at-arms, and 16 spears. They're going to be able to deal with the amount of knights that are here. 57 military for VerteX, 20 for GUA, but he needs to burn. He needs to do that. He needs to burn down this palisade gate, try to get in, try to do some damage. He needs to stop falling for this runaround that's constantly happening. He needs to throw down more outposts in his base in order to deal with it. Throw down some cannon emplacements. Yeah, he's lacking stone a little bit, but he still has an outcropping in the back of his base in order to start farming up. Put those emplacements down. Get those cannon emplacements. That way it hurts GUA more than it hurts him when GUA tries to go for those run-bys. This is... Oh, does he actually? I don't think he does. No, that's a Minework Palace upgrade. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's where are you? Does it show? Torch. No, it just shows the attack. Yeah, 1.25 tile range. And now villagers are going to be under fire over here on the southeastern side of GUA's base. That's a lot of villagers that are getting idled. The only relic that GUA had does get pulled down for an attempted defensive Wololo. And now more villagers. That's going to be a huge Lens Connect swipe right there. That is massive. He just needs one more cleave. One more Lens Connect cleave right there. Come on. Are we going to get it? Yes, we're going to get more slices and more dices. He's able to just instantly double the amount of villager kills he had right there. Goes from 13 to 27. 14 villager kills in a matter of a second. Sacred Site victory approaching though. 7 minutes 22 seconds remaining. He will be able to, or will he, VerteX, be able to defend this? Will he be able to recapture and neutralize? He has to go to the northern Sacred Site. He needs to build a couple rams, or he needs to go into get siege engineering, or go into siege workshops themselves. He is just going to start throwing more and more units into GUA's base. VerteX is sitting on 79 villagers at the moment, 115 for GUA, 50 military for VerteX though, 22 spears, 6. Oh, that's not going to be enough. Only 6 man-at-arms. These early, I mean, why do I keep calling them early knights? They're full-fledged knights now. These knights are gonna potentially just get wrecked in a straight fight. There are so many gilded spears right here, but it is not anymore. It's only a 6 advantage. Wait, he does have the, oh, he does have the upgrade. Okay, so it's not a Minework Palace upgrade, it's just a straight barracks upgrade from what it seems like the AoE damage on those spears. If he's able to get into the back, he could start just completely destroying the farm economy of GUA while killing villagers and just disrupting everything. That could potentially be huge, but is VerteX paying attention? That's a lot of knights that are going to be charging on. Yes, oh yes, he was. The brace goes off. He's able to pick off quite a few knights right there, right off the bat. But are there enough spears in order to deal with this? More and more knights are charging in order to try to clean this up. There is a defensive keep right here, right next to the other keep, GUA's defensive keep as well. 27 spears, 4 gilded MMA, and 3 gilded Lens Connect for VerteX. This fight could be a make or break scenario for either of the players, but it looks like GUA is gonna be able to get the wraparound on the infantry of our Order of the Dragon player. He is backing off, even though he has taken, both sides took heavy losses right there. He's gonna just do a full retreat, move down towards the south. 4 minutes 50 seconds until Sacred Site victory. VerteX needs to take this. There's a very forward siege workshop place as well. He should start building rams from there as quickly as possible in order to deal with the keep. And now another run by coming through. Still no extra. Oh, this is not good. There still aren't any extra outposts here in order to defend against this. 2 outposts with cannon emplacements in it. That's all he needs. That's all he needs. Delete this lumber mill, place one right here, an outpost right here, delete the house, or delete this lumber cap as well, put one right there. Actually, I'd even throw down 3 at this point, 3 or 4, and just drop 2 right here. That's it. Like, if you could strategically put down the outposts in order to defend more of your base, then that's even better. Whenever they poke in, they're just going to take a ton of damage. Actually, this outpost doesn't even have an emplacement yet. Throw the first cannon emplacement on that. Since he's been hitting from the front, you have a decent wall. You could actually finish this wall up, move it, done. You're fully walled off. Or force the choke to be right there next to the cannon emplacement when he does run by, and he's going to just take a lot of damage right there. And now we have units over here on the northern side. All that gold has been eaten up. The villagers are going to get pulled onto the ram, but they're going to go down. That's a lot of potential villager kills. Cannon emplacement on the forward or on the defensive keep as well. Well, forward keep over here on the northern side for our Order of the Dragon player. There's no way he's going to be able to take the southern one anytime soon, because that Spetskaya will completely destroy anything. He's going to need trebuchets in order to deal with that. Villagers are getting chased. How many are there? 11. 35 villager kills for VerteX, 44 for GUA. This has been a very, very good back and forth game. Both players have been able to keep their composure. Both players have been able to keep me entertained, which is pretty difficult in these 40-minute matches. I don't know if we're going to be seeing an ending anytime soon, in all honesty, because both players have been posturing themselves very, very carefully the last 10 minutes or so. 97 villagers for VerteX, 100 military supply, 38 spears, 10 lance connect, 2 man-at-arms. GUA is currently sitting on 130. Wow, 130 villagers, 53 military, 31 knights, 17 archers. A little bit of, oh, there's villagers down here as well. VerteX does need to bring all his units together. He needs a heavy single push. There's a lot of archers right here that are going to be able to do some damage onto the spears. They are, oh no, they're not one-shotting them yet. That's not a good time for GUA to push out with the archers until they're able to be one shot. Tons of damage coming down from both sides though. VerteX is able to keep his numbers up and running. Do not push any forward though. Don't push forward. Okay. Yeah. Keep the fight right there. If the fight stays there, that's fine. But if VerteX follows, okay, yeah, perfect. VerteX should not be following GUA any further, because the Spetskaya is gonna just demolish his army. VerteX is pulling back. He does have a very sizable force in order to deal with this. He can just straight up attack him right there. That was perfect. He could have killed so many knights right there so easily. There's a few more knights over here and trying to deny this keep from coming up. They will not succeed. They will kill quite a few villagers right there. I think a total of 6 or 7 went down. And now that keep is going to be denying out the gold and the stone. There's still that's basically a full outcropping right there. 1193 out of 1200. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. These are all palisade walls down here though. These knights are going to be able to just burn through this if they decide to at any moment. Does he know about the farms there? I don't think he does. Otherwise he would have burned that down. Cannon emplacement, please tell me that. Yes. Okay, we do have a cannon emplacement there now. So this is going to be very, very good defensively for our Order of the Dragon player. I think that GUA has waited too long to end this, in all honesty, because the eco for our Order of the Dragon has that outpost is going to go down. Was that a cannon placed outpost? I think it was. He needed to pull those villagers out. He needs to actually build a TC up here too if he's able to. No, he doesn't have the stone for it. That is a nice forward. Oh no, that's a lot of villagers right here. Those Lance Connect are doing so much damage. So many villagers are going to go down right there. This keep is potentially not even going to be able to come up either from the amount of villagers that have went down. And Order of the Dragon is just pushing and pushing. Is he going to be able to deny it? Yes, he is. The final villager does go down. That was a lot of villagers trying to build that up. That is not good. That is not good whatsoever. 81 villager kills for VerteX, a denied, or yeah, 82 villagers for VerteX, plus he was able to deny the keep. Like, if he was able to kill those villagers and the keep still came up, okay, maybe. But he got the villagers, he got the keep, and he was able to kill a very substantial amount of military from GUA right there. And now we're seeing a very, not very, but we're seeing forward placed keeps in order to try to use them as anchor points for our Order of the Dragon player. Except this one is very forward. I don't know why my camera keeps glitching like that. Like all I'm doing is moving it a little bit and then decides to just kick all the way to the right, to the left. This is looking very well for our Order of the Dragon player. He even has a bombard out. He's gonna start burning through this. He won't be able to get through the Svitskaya anytime soon, which is fine because he has everything up here on the northern side. He has a very nice position up here. Cannon emplacement coming through on the outpost. Fortification is going to be coming through right after that. What we need to see is there's still a lot of sheep right here, or not sheep, there's still a lot of deer right here. We need to see a second TC come down in order to just, or a highway of houses, one of the two, in order for the repairs to come through. All of these horsemen are going to go down, which is fine. What isn't fine is losing this forward position though. That outpost is such a massive clutch for him right here. It's a huge anchor point. It is gonna go down though unless villagers get pulled in order to repair. He does have a couple villagers coming. Are they gonna be able to get there in time? It's at 20. No, they're not gonna. Oh, wait. Fortification came through and was able to get it. Oh, clutch timing right there. 2 HP remaining on that outpost, and he's gonna be able to get it up. This cannon emplacement is just gonna do so much more damage, so much more work now. This is absolutely huge for VerteX. He can't lose this position. He is trying to gain ground over here on the southern end. That is very optimistic. Keep that is getting placed right there as well. It's gonna be able to fire on the Spetskaya. 2 bombards are dealing with it as well. Villagers are getting pulled to try to deal with the keep, but they are just gonna go down instead. VerteX is just gaining ground from every angle. I really do think GUA through this game, he did not finish it when he had a perfect opportunity in order to do so. He needed to gather the rest of his forces and just push everything at once and end the game, and now he's on his back foot once more. 96 villagers, 94 military for VerteX, 55 spears, 14 horsemen, 7 gilded Lynchknecht, 3 bombards, and a single man at arms. Here comes another attempted run by on the northern side. Meanwhile, VerteX is bleeding quite a few units right here up front. Where is that second TC? We need the second TC. VerteX, drop it. You have it. There's enough villagers right here as well. He could place it right there, call it good, and then he'd have emergency repair. Bombards are going to be breaking down the wall over here. Villagers are going to get pulled in order to kill these bombards as well. That's a lot of villagers. These villagers will be able to kill it. There's no military here defending. Oh, I spoke too soon. Military is coming back in order to defend their bombards. Oh, this is not good for GUA. That's way too many villagers that are going to go down. What was the count at? 100? And it's going up. There is going to be a fight breaking out as well. Strutsky, flaming archers, but no front line in order to stop the Lynchknecht, the horsemen, from getting right on top of them. 10 villagers went down right there, potentially more. He was currently sitting at 104 villagers. Oh yes, there's a lot more villagers going down now. 1 Lynchknecht. I need a kill count for these villagers. Give it to me, Relic, please. I'm begging you. This, oh my gosh, this 1 Lynchknecht is getting so many kills. He got what, 9, 10 kills by himself, if not more. That was that's just so much value off of a single unit right there, just because GUA wasn't really able to pay, or wasn't really paying attention to that 1 unit right there. There's very little gold here. I honestly don't think it's worth to fight over, especially we're going to be losing that many villagers. That was easy. 8 villagers going down right there. Another 2 or 3 did go down as well. 64 villager kills for GUA. Attack does break out right here. That's a lot of flaming archers. A few Lance Connect are thrown into the mix. Is trying to stutter step back since he does, so he doesn't take that much fire from the cannon in placed keep, as well as the bombards. Wait, is that a cannon? Cannon is coming up on there. Horsemen are going to try to charge onto the bombard. Aren't going to be successful. Walls are coming down up here on the northern side as well. There is a trade transition coming through for GUA, and that's going to be getting denied as well. Where are the markets are over here on the easternmost corner of the map, but these walls are going to deny it. The traders are going to have to go right by the keep that has a cannon emplacement in it, so they will be dying. They also have to pass through 2 other outposts. Still no second TC, which would have been very, very beneficial in all honesty. Emergency repair right here, right now. Whew. It'd stay up, and it would force GUA to back off of it until the emergency repair finish. Attempted run by over here on the northwestern side of the map does get completely shut down. VerteX is in a very, very nice position right now. Svetskaya, that will not be able to get repaired anytime soon either. GUA is finally pushing out of his space over here on the western side of it. We'll see what he's gonna plan on doing. He will be able to burn this keep pretty quickly as well. There are enough horsemen here in order to do so, but that's gonna be a lot of damage and a lot of dead units as well. Trade coming through for VerteX as well. How many is he sit? Wow, he actually has quite a few markets up and running right now. 6 total. Yeah, he has 6 total. 16 traders. Meanwhile, we have 6 for GUA. Nice little assault coming, or nice little attack coming out in the middle of the map right here. VerteX is taking the lead on the north, able to push that back, and it looks like he's going to be able to push back the south part of the fight as well. The Gilded Horsemen just aren't going down as quickly as GUA would like, so they are going to be able to push into the back. There are a few Gilded Knights in here thrown in as well that are adding in an extra huge amount of tankiness. GUA is forced behind his palisade walls once again, but this could be the final push for VerteX. He's currently sitting on 107 military supply to 36 for GUA. He could just push in right now and start destroying so much. Even if he gets nothing but production, that's still gonna hurt GUA a lot. Not able to produce as many units as he would like. I'm not entirely sure why VerteX is pulling back though. He's gonna be getting the sacred site at the north. Walls coming through, completely gonna try to shut out GUA from going anywhere. Rams are moving out to the southern end of the map though. That's a lot of units inside of GUA's base. 93 villagers, 107 supply, 107 military for VerteX. And these Gilded Knights and Horsemen are going to be pushing towards the rest of the military of GUA. They're going to be getting a lot of good favorable trades as it is. The Gilded Spears are moving in as well in order to deal with this, or help deal with this, to put the final nail in the coffin. GUA, of course, is not going to be giving up anytime soon. He is going to try to fight until the bitter end, especially since, as I say that, he calls GG and game goes to VerteX. This was an amazing back and forth, amazing play by both players. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really do, because I know I did. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.